If you have a software idea and you want to take it to your first 1,000 users, this is going to be the step-by-step playbook on how you're going to achieve that. And I'm going to be sharing strategies that no one else is talking about. So make sure you watch this video all the way through, grab your notebook, take notes. Let's get into it. All right, class is in session. So if you're just getting into software or you've been in software for a little bit and you're trying to grow your first 1,000 users, and for whatever reason you are just struggling to get there, this is going to give you so much clarity. And a lot of these things you're probably not even doing correctly. I mean, a lot of people want to jump stages, go straight from idea to paid ads marketing, and that's not how you want to do things. If you rush through these stages, you are going to find that your app will crash and burn, even if you have an incredible idea behind it. So everything gets broken down into 5 stages: MVP, early product, initial growth, infrastructure, and expansion. These 5 stages, and going through these stages step by step, is extremely crucial for any software that seriously wants to set itself up for success long-term into the future. We've even made these mistakes before where we just created something and skipped everything in between and jumped straight to intensive advertising and had everything break on us, and it was a complete disaster. So don't make the mistakes that we did. Stick to the plan. Stage 1 is your MVP stage. This is when you have 0 users and you are brand new to the game. You just finished building the absolute bare minimum, the bare bones that barely works of your software. The whole goal of this stage is to just validate that your idea can even be built and that it even functions. You want to confirm that this thing that you are building, people would actually be willing to pay for. If people aren't willing to pay for it, you're just not going to have a successful business. At this stage, once you have the absolute bare bones minimum working thing, you want to find people who are your ideal client avatar, hit them up, and offer free access, or even just straight up ask them if you can't afford to be paying for everything, whether or not they would use this service or not. Get people on sales calls and end it with signing them up for either the MVP for testing or adding them to your waitlist. The whole point here is to get your first 10 yeses. Once you have 10 people saying, yes, this idea is worth investing into, then you can move on to stage 2. Stage 2 is your early product phase. Now that you have a solid amount of people saying that, yes, they would want to invest time, effort, and money into your product, here is where you actually lock in and build out your product. Take their suggestions and implement them with your developer or CTO. It's very important that you actually hire a developer, a CTO, a physical human being, because vibe coding will only get you so far. At one point, we were building a software and even our developer had so many security leaks in the MVP, security problems, that our first ever test run, we had someone try pen testing it and it was broken apart immediately. So don't trust that your vibe coded app is going to be any good. And we're so glad that we were able to find these early on before it was a problem. Focus on delivering undeniable value for your users. If you can afford it, let them use the product for free. Ask them to push it to its limits, break it apart, pen test it, anything, and get that initial data of what people want, what people would be willing to pay for. Here you want to put a heavy focus on completely disregarding all automations and manually onboard people, get them on calls, give them demos, and lead them through your product by yourself. Forget about onboarding processes, forget about tours, literally get on the call and do it yourself. And once they've begun using it and you have a legitimate product, this is when you move on to stage 3. Stage 3 is your initial growth phase. This is where you're starting to get that initial traction and you're getting from about 10 of those initial testers to your first 30 to 50 paying users. Now you have a legitimate product, but you have to prove to the market that this product actually delivers the results you want it to deliver. And you can't run any marketing unless you have that proof. So at this stage, you are gathering that proof. Again, completely disregard all automations and automating your software. You still want to be hopping on calls, manually guiding people through your software, consistently following up with your users on email, on Instagram, on text message, Nag them so much that they are forced to give you every thought, every detail they have about your software. Get those testimonials and publish them on your landing page and start putting them up on your social media. Proof that your thing works for other people is what convinces more people to join. And at this point, because you have a good amount of users, you can figure out exactly how much you should be charging. What would it be worth for people? On those calls, ask them, how much would you pay for this? Generally, especially if your software, like ours, delivers a direct monetary result, you want to be charging between 10 to 20% of how much money it would make your user. Then once you have all that dialed in, you can move on to phase 4. This is finally where you start working on your infrastructure and automating everything. Here you create your automated onboarding funnel, your guided tours, everything else like support, backend, anything that people might need so that you can step away from the business and focus on things like marketing and actually getting people into your software. At this point, it's also very crucial because you're scaling to that first 1, 2, or 300 users that your software doesn't break under pressure. But by the end of this phase, you should have your entire thing automated. You should have a team for everything, AI handling other parts, and you yourself would be able to step back and focus on phase 5, which is expansion. This is the juicy and fun part. Here is where you begin doing all the other stuff I talk on my channel and actually blowing up your software. You start building and optimizing your distribution channels, hiring creators, running paid ads, and doing all the other things, like I said, that will blow up your business. Create partnerships, affiliate deals, and all this other stuff. Hire team managers that can manage your affiliates, manage your partnerships, manage your content. This is crucial because just because you have a great idea does not mean people are going to come. And at some point, you want to give up on manually outreaching to clients. This stage is one of the most crucial, and now that you have some funds, this is the make or break between you scaling just a little bit or you blowing the fuck up. Now, if I had to give one ending note for this whole 5-step strategy, it would be that you need to build something that really drives results. Don't be one of those people that goes online and says, we guarantee XYZ or you don't pay. Literally make it that your software guarantees X result. Literally make it that you are able to make that promise with no concern in your mind that it might not happen. If you build a good product, your marketing will work itself out because it is so obvious for a brand new user that if they give you $10, they'll get $100 back. That is a no-brainer decision that anyone would take. I hope this video was useful for you, and if you want to see more specific strategies on how to scale your software, I'll leave a link to my Instagram below. And if you're still struggling to scale your software, or you're at that stage where you'd like to have a team of experts come in and handle all that for you, I'll leave a link in the description to book a call with myself and my business partner to see whether we would be a good fit to help you out. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.